Buenos dias, and happy Friday, everyone. We have some large announcements today from the Cosmos ecosystem, one of which is also to align the Cosmos ecosystem with Solana. But let's go one by one and first look into the ETF flows, because this has really been a big hindrance for the Bitcoin price this week, and that obviously drags also down the entire crypto markets. But if we look at the outflows yesterday, from Grayscale, we're only at $80 million, which is not a lot compared to the 300 that we saw the other day. Whereas BlackRock is ramping up now, 144 million. And if you look at the net assets that both of these still have, we see that BlackRock is about to flip Grayscale and become the largest Bitcoin spot ETF provider in the world. But at the same time, also Grayscale still has $22.3 billion in powder to basically dump on the market, right? And a lot of this is probably still largely in the greens, in the profits, which means that could be additional sell pressure ongoing for the next weeks and months. But at one point, they will run out of powder, and at one point, BlackRock will flip them, Fidelity will flip them. But yeah, as a result, we saw yesterday Bitcoin slightly up. We actually saw a Bitcoin pump yesterday. We went up to all the way to $69,200. Now, this morning, a bit down again. But overall, sideways, nothing much is happening. Wormhole price consolidating, falling under $1 now after this insane $1.60 launch, which meant a $16 billion valuation, which is crazy to think about, right? But yeah, that's Wormhole. That's just rough price updates. If we look into the Cosmos ecosystem, we can see that they're still, yeah, slightly red, nothing dramatic, but yeah, it is what it is. We're still below or around $11 for Atom, Injective 32, Fetch 261, Celestia below $12, which is interesting. The biggest gainer in the past 24 hours, 30%, and Quasar up 20%. So those are the two biggest gainers. I don't have news and updates about why X is pumping so hard. But as I said last time, IXO still has very thin liquidity and also very thin trading volumes, right? So the trading volume here in the past 24 hours is only $7,000, right? And yeah, that's why this price is so extremely volatile. So a pump without a lot of volume doesn't really say a lot. But yeah, I will keep an eye on that. I will keep you informed about that. And we'll see if there's any updates and news coming out of it. The reason why Quasar is pumping, on the other hand, there we actually have some news, because number one, I kept you posted on this the last time. We saw that there was this huge 2x overnight because some whale bought QSR tokens. Now we actually have the buyback and burn proposal being executed. The proposal passed recently, proposal 30, and now $120,000 worth of proto revenue, 125K, that was accrued in rewards from the MEV capture that was used to buy back and burn QSR tokens. The buyback has happened. Now the next step is to conduct a burn in the coming days, which would obviously decrease the QSR circulating supply. And as a result, the QSR price up 20% today. And we've been following that literally since 1 or 2 cents here. Also, I've been covering this on the channel. I'm also an advisor to Quasar, so I'm also very close and up to date with the things that are in the works. And I think April is going to be an interesting month for Quasar as well. Anyways, that's one to keep an eye on. But the main topic of today is Pstake Finance. Persistence, one of the OG liquid staking providers in Cosmos, actually the OG liquid staking provider in Cosmos. Actually, breaking news, Pstake Finance, which is a liquid staking provider on the Persistence One chain, just released stkSOL, liquid staking for Solana. And that is obviously huge news for the Cosmos ecosystem, because it aligns Cosmos more with Solana. And also it opens up huge growth potentials for Pstake as a liquid staking provider in Cosmos, but also now in crypto, right? Pstake already has BNB Live, Atom Live, DYDX, and many more. And now they're also launching stkSOL with aggressive incentives in Pstake. So think similar how Stride was aggressively incentivizing the liquid staking for Celestia and Tia, which is still ongoing. Now Pstake is doing a similar move with Solana Sol, which has a much bigger addressable market. In fact, if you look at TVL for liquid staking of 1.65 billion, followed by the second largest liquid staking provider, Marinade, 1.13 billion, and then we have Blaze just around 500 million. But the total value locked for liquid staking on the Solana network is $3.5 billion, of which Jito has a 47% dominance. And this is a huge addressable market. Solana itself has an $85 billion market cap or something like that, of which 56 billion are staked. And yeah, liquid staking providers are on the rise. This is also relatively new. And like you can see, there's only actually 3 main players in that field. So Pstake, which is native to Cosmos, is now joining that. I think the APR for stkSOL will be around 8% and very competitive with Jito, because they also implement this MEV boost and MEV capture. So this is a very interesting and a very aggressive strategic move, which might play out really well for Pstake, right? If you look at the TVL right now for Pstake, we can see they're only at $18.5 million. That's actually 100x upside compared to Jito. And yeah, the largest TVL is actually on BSC, Binance Chain for BNB, but then also on persistence with all the Cosmos native assets. But I think unleashing the liquidity gates for Solana might be a strategic move that could massively boost their TVL, especially considering aggressive incentives. There might also potentially be an airdrop for the Solana community to onboard them into Cosmos, into the Pstake ecosystem. That might be interesting, maybe also for Mad Lads NFT holders. And yeah, there's interesting ideas floating around. Also keep a close eye on Dexter, because that's where interesting pools appear, right? And this is where some of the highest yields in Cosmos DeFi are happening. We made a full video about that the other day, about also stablecoin pools, right? 40% APR on the USDC USDT pool, STK DYDX 63%. The Stars pool still 70%. That's the one I aped into when STK Stars launched, and Huaba, which is the most recent liquid staking token LST that launched, still 130%. So they are aggressively rolling out their LST liquidity pools and yeah, products around crypto, not just in Cosmos, but around crypto. And if we look at Stride in that context, we can actually see now a clear differentiation, a clear separation of the pathways for both Stride and Pstake. Whereas Pstake is focused more on the broader crypto liquid staking economy, Stride really doubles down on their Cosmos strategy and also on modularity projects, right? We have Celestia, obviously. Now we have Dime, that is also heavily incentivized by STRD tokens, and they're also running well with that strategy. But I think now Pstake is doing a similar move with stkSOL. So interesting times. Let's see how that plays out. Pstake found their soulmate. Maybe this could also help realign Cosmos and Solana more and more, because I think there's a lot of mutual respect between Cosmos and Solana developers. You also see interesting tweets from Mert, who actually Jack and I have been trying to get him on a show. We had one scheduled multiple times, but then just didn't work out time zone wise and travel wise. But yeah, Mert is saying, I'm now much more bullish on sovereign block space that's not shared with others. Basically alluding to the AppChain thesis, and he's saying also I'm Cosmos pilled. So I'm not sure. Also, his Twitter game is really top notch. He's really good also like at trolling stuff. Obviously, if you see tweets like that, but Mert, I think, has a lot of respect for Cosmos developers, and I think Cosmos developers have a lot of respect for people like Mert, but also obviously for Anatoly. I think also Ansem, who is obviously the main character in crypto right now. He's also a big Cosmos fan, obviously the main Solana guy right now out there. But yeah, Ansem is also Cosmos pilled at the same time, right? And don't forget that we also have Picasso Network that is actually working on bringing IBC to Solana. They already have $17 million in their restaking vaults for Solana. And now they are about to roll out IBC Solana after rolling out yesterday. I made a big video about that. Please go watch that after watching today's video, where Picasso announced the rollout of Ethereum IBC, and they are first to market. And that's a phased rollout. I talked about it in yesterday's video. Picasso has won the race to be first to launch Ethereum IBC before Polymer. There's also Union that's in the works, but Picasso is first to market, and that's very interesting and a very important strategic move and achievement, I would say. So keep an eye on Picasso. Keep an eye also on Pstake. The Pstake token itself also went up 10% today, now at 12 cents. Still down bad from the all-time highs, obviously. It went to around $1 here at the all-time highs. But yeah, Pstake, interesting. Also keep in mind that Pstake is invested by Binance Labs, and the persistence team itself. They have very strong ties to all the centralized exchanges. Pstake is also listed on Kraken. So yeah, large exchanges, also Gate.io here, and OKX as well, KuCoin, Crypto.com. But yeah, this is an interesting coin to look at. And also the XPRT price hasn't moved at all this bull market. It hasn't moved at all. It's not woken up yet, right? It's not woken up. It's still flat. It missed out the entire market so far, right? I mean, we are up a little bit from 6 months ago, but 120% is absolutely nothing, right? It's underperformed BTC, Bitcoin. The all-time high was at $16, so that's still huge upside. That's a 30, 40, 50x upside. But yeah, I think once this thing wakes up, it's kiss and goodbye. And the same might also count for Pstake itself. So this one actually has performed slightly better. You can see this has already woken up. There's also like volumes coming up here, $2.5 million in volumes. So this is definitely also a wake-up call with volume, which is nice to see, and a 5x from the lows. Anyways, I want to give a little bit more praise to Solana, because to be honest, what they have done with the super team is absolutely amazing. And I'm highly inspired by that. Obviously, what we're doing at Cosmoverse for the Cosmos ecosystem, which to be honest is a huge hustle to put together, and organizing events, getting people together, connecting and networking with and for people. And super team has mastered that craft. They have focused on geographic regions and locations to onboard developers at universities, to onboard. Did you look at these pictures and these videos? This is what Cosmos should be doing, and this is what super team and Solana has been doing for the past 3 to 4 years. They've been crushing it around the world with events, physically onboarding literally people almost on a one-to-one basis, getting people into the Solana ecosystem. And it's just absolutely amazing how they're doing it. They're also the ones behind this video, which if you've not seen it, I'm going to play it for you right now. But this is probably the best crypto video I've ever seen in my entire life.
Good morning, doctor.
Good morning. We got your ether scan back, and unfortunately we found something.
What is it, doc?
You've been diagnosed with ETH maximisis. You're an ETH maxi. An ETH maxi.
Nathan. Doc, that's not possible.
It's okay. He's going to take some time to process this. He can only handle 10 alphabets per second.
He has been really slow lately.
Is he allergic to anything?
To any wallet that isn't MetaMask.
Allergic to good UI. Any difficulties while digesting?
He couldn't digest the fact that Austin Federa went unbankless. But is he going to be okay, doctor?
I'm going to need to run some more tests. What do you see here, Nathan?
What are you doing?
What? I'm just booking a cab with a decentralized application on Ethereum Layer 1. See? It's 5 minutes away.
He's seeing fully functioning consumer apps and white papers. That's stage 3 of ETH maximizes.
What does that mean, doctor?
Do you see all of this gas in his transactions? It's only a matter of time till he gets wrecked.
There must be some here.
We can reduce gas if we use Wormhole and bring him into the Solana ecosystem. Exposure to real apps that actually work can cure him. But we must act quickly or he'll progress to stage 5.
What happens in stage 5?
That could be fatal. That's when they start a podcast. Quick!
What's happening, doctor?
It's a common reaction faced by ETH maxis. They can't function without another layer. Layer 3! Layer 4! Every day, millions of devs suffer from ETH maximisis. Extend them a helping hand by guiding them to Solana, where they can create actual consumer dApps and not just white papers. Layer 68! Layer 69!
And you see just going on. This is from the past 24 hours alone, right? We're here in Abuja. Then we are here in UK. They're all calling for bigger venues. They have events all the time. There was one also here yesterday in Dubai in the UAE. There's one in Saturday here in Dubai. I'm actually going to that one because I want to see it. I want to check it out. And Super Team is not just doing events, but they are the talent layer of Solana. They're also doing a lot of onboarding education around the world, India, Germany, Turkey, Vietnam, right? All major hubs in crypto. The UAE, like I said, a lot of stuff going on here as well. And of course, they are funded and supported by the Solana Foundation mainly, but also by Wormhole, Backpack, and Circle. And this is really what Cosmos needs, right? I'm telling you this because I think Cosmos has huge upside to align the Cosmos ecosystem entirely by running such an initiative, right? And in my view, Super Team is also largely responsible for Solana's huge comeback because they've literally onboarded not just retail community members, but developers, builders, investors over the years around the world. Anyways, lastly, I want to talk about one of the biggest and most important narratives and categories for crypto this year, and that is obviously the intersection of crypto and AI, artificial intelligence. I talked a lot about here on this channel about FetchAI, about Akash network. We talked also about Humans AI more recently. And obviously AI means a lot of things, right? There are actual AI algorithms deployed on chain, but there's also a lot of AI infrastructure around it, right? For example, Akash Network is doing compute and GPUs, which is super important for the whole AI sector. Then you have Jackal, for example, which is doing storage that is also crucial for AI to actually succeed in a decentralized manner. Now, I want to talk about AIOZ, which is a project that I have been in touch with for the past 7-8 months also. I think for the first time we talked around 8 months ago, last summer, a couple of months before Cosmoverse. And yeah, I've been in touch with them ever since. And more recently, I talked a lot more with them and actually also placed an OTC investment into AIOZ because I think this is one interesting play that actually connects all of those under one umbrella, right? AI, storage, and streaming into one platform. And the founder, Erman, he's super smart and he's very committed. And they've been around for a long time. So I think the backstory is that they actually started on Ethereum. And they now launched a Cosmos chain, and this Cosmos chain is still not very known under the Cosmos community, right? Amongst the Cosmos community, they are a full-on Cosmos chain that's also EVM compatible. So they're also deploying the EVM, and AIOZ has already captured some of that traction and momentum from this early AI hype we saw earlier this year. The price went from 1.4, 1.5, even 1 cent pretty much to now 78 cents. It went as high as, yeah, I think it crossed $1 recently, last week. And that implies currently a $850 million market cap, fully diluted valuation. Yeah, this might actually be a good contender in the AI space with the FetchAIs and also the Bitensers and renders. And in that context, I also want to share some updates about the ASI Alliance, which was announced recently, in which SingularityNet, Ocean Protocol, and FetchAI, which is also a Cosmos chain, are going to merge. And they want to merge and basically sunset all their native tokens and launch the ASI token. And they just released actually a paper which sheds more light on that, right? And the whole process. And my initial reaction, to be honest, was, yes, this is a great idea, but how does it look like on the kind of organizational structure behind, right? Because now that means you have 3 OG projects with 3 founders, with 3 leaders, with 3 visions. And how do you unite that? And how do you establish a decision-making process for ASI in a way that it doesn't cause drama? So what I actually want to do here, they want to set up a new kind of corporate structure for that. They want to actually set up a foundation, and they want to like establish the Artificial Superintelligence Council, which will be established, I think it says somewhere in Singapore. So yeah, here it says in the jurisdiction of Singapore. But yeah, you can already tell that, you know, they all have their own kind of figureheads and leaders. You have Humayun, who has already been here on this channel last summer. From Fetch, you have Dr. Brent Goertzel, who is obviously an absolute OG when it comes to AGI, Artificial General Intelligence. He's been an absolute OG like in the 80s or 90s even, right? Like before crypto even existed, like decades before. So this is an absolute OG in the AI space in general. You also have the Ocean team, which is focused more also on kind of data, the data layer. But yeah, this is interesting. So that's the first thing, which is interesting to see that they're establishing this new organization. And the second thing is also about the kind of tokenomics, right? And the ASI token, because from my understanding, FetchAI, which is the Cosmos chain, Fetch is a Cosmos chain, they will be the main chain from my understanding. So that's where the ASI token will be native to. But then also there's liquidity from all these other tokens, even Fetch, because Fetch was an Ethereum project before they launched the Cosmos chain. So there's still Fetch ERC20s. There's obviously AGIX, Ocean, and Fetch liquidity, which will all be migrating to a new ASI contract. But I'm not sure if this will be minted on the Ethereum network or directly on the Fetch chain. But it sounds like there will be ASI tokens minted on all these chains, basically converted from all these other tokens into this new ASI token. So that's going to be a very, very complex endeavor. There are already existing bridges, also from Cardano, because SingularityNet, so AGIX, they initially launched in Ethereum, then they migrated to Cardano, and I think now they are, just kind of sunsetting their token and just aligning with the others. But there's liquidity everywhere. It sounds like a very, very, very complex process, to be honest. There's also conversion rates. There's now, huge price fluctuations and volatility, because all these tokens are in production. They are listed on all exchanges. They have multi-billion-dollar valuations, right? So this is going to be interesting how that plays out. And there's also the roadmap about key milestones moving forward. So you can read that here. That paper, Fetch itself, $2.58, has seen a bit of a dump, now a $3 billion FTV. But yeah, this is still insane how this broke out from like, the lows here in, let's say the 2023 lows from 20 cents, clean 14x, 13x from the lows. Anyways, that's it for today. And now I would recommend you to go over on the coinbureau Clips channel, because I had the great honor to be interviewed by Nick, the CEO at coinbureau, to talk about Cosmos for over an hour. This is 1 hour, 6 minutes. We talk about upcoming projects. We talk about existing ones. We talk about narratives. We talk about AI, about privacy coins, staking, Cosmoverse, and a lot more. So watch this video now, and I'll see you guys very soon here on Cryptocito. Until then, stay safe and be good.